Hey guys, so the question is, should you use a WordPress website for your land investing business? Okay, so here are my thoughts on things. When I first started, I spent a lot of time on this. You got pretty technical with, websites and stuff. Um, not like starting things from scratch, but WordPress, I feel like, has a pretty big learning curve in the beginning. Um, I use WordPress and figured out different themes and different stuff. Here's what I do. I'll tell you what I do and then what I recommend. Um, if you are into techie like stuff, you like messing around, I would say yes, do WordPress. Go to Bluehost, get a domain. Like the easiest way to do. Okay, what I do is I buy a domain from Google Domains, then set up a DNS into Bluehost where they host my domain. And then from Bluehost, I create a WordPress page. And then I used to use different themes. I use now Elementor, the free one, do a basic, info, frequently asked questions, maybe put in a phone number, and that's basically it. Maybe a couple like written testimonials from like past people that have been happy with me, and I try to keep their information like confidential. Um, that's what I do now. Uh, if you were gonna get started, and this would take a lot of time, I would not spend time here. I would spend it on figuring out mailers, figuring out pricing. How do you map them? How do you find out where access is? Like all these other things that are important. That's what I would spend time on. The website is like a later thing. You don't even have to do it. So for a long time, I used one LLC, Ethical Country LLC, and I basically had everything running to that. I had a website on that. I am now like taking my LLC out. I'm putting multiple LLCs with like land trust. I'm doing like other things to like create like more privacy and anonymity, and just start like making it more difficult to find me in public records. Um, but there's been times where I've tried to buy something and sell it, and the buyer would try to find out, who, what am I trying to sell it? Why are you, and then it'd be very easy because they would see the same name. Um, I've now come to the point that I now have a website for selling that's different from my LLC where I buy it. And I've eliminated a lot of problems. I do have a buyer's website, but I pretty much just keep that off. So really, if you did Bluehost with like any kind of like deal, there's like very cheap deals for like $3 a month, something like that, where you could have Bluehost and have your website. And if you want like an official email, you could use Gmail. I use like from Google Domains. Like, let's say your website was, land land heaven, right? So you could have it where your email is like paul@landheaven.com with your website, but all this stuff is like extra, and these aren't the essential things. These are ancillary things. So with that, I would recommend WordPress. I feel like it's pretty affordable. Right now I pay $15 a month for Bluehost. I keep the domains on Google Domains, pay $15 a month for Bluehost. And then with Bluehost, I could have as many websites as I want. So I could just buy a domain, then WordPress it, use Elementor, and then, just keep doing that to make as many websites. If I need to collect data or have some kind of form, I'd have to pay $90 per year for Elementor. There's like some cheaper stuff out there, but I just think Elementor is really easy to use. It's just drag and drop. If you ever use ClickFunnels or Kartra or any of that, instead of paying $99 a month, you pay $99 a year, and essentially get the same landing pages. There's better themes out there if you want to do blogs and other of that. But if you're in land investing, like really, like you just put a phone number and most people like will just call you or text you. So you don't really have to get complicated with forms. if if you are essentially just not a techie person, and this is all like hard for you, I would just recommend just doing Wix, and just do a basic template with, just some information they could throw on if anyone asks like who you are and like what you do, like on the sales side. On the buy side, no one like cares. Like no one really does that like big of a checkup on you unless they're trying to see like, if you bought a lot similar to them and you're selling it, right? Like, and they want to know what price it is. But if you're doing blind offers or ranged offers or something like that, and you're not spending much time on negotiations, and you have a good pipeline of deals, of like leads, this is kind of like not necessarily at all. Like I don't even put my buyer website like on. It's just like there, like in the internet, if they really like dig me up, and there's really like no information there except like, yeah, like I'll help you and here's my phone number. That's really it. Like all deals, like I want to be on the phone or text them. There's people there that really disagree with me, and they have Pebble, not Pebble, REI Conversion, which is like the same group. They have a website actually using WordPress. Like, so it's like a very specific land investing theme where if you have their software, which costs like $200 a month, it'll sync up these like specific mailer reference numbers that you could plug in, that they could have them plug in if you send them. So the way it works is you send out a mailer with your website, they go into your website, they put mailer information, like their property reference number, and then it goes populates in their CRM, and then you can contact them later on. It's the same thing as if they called you, left a voice message, or you picked it up, you got a mailer reference number or APN number, and you put it in a CRM or an Excel sheet. It's the same thing. But for that privilege, you could pay like $60, $70. Is it necessary? Not really. That's just my personal opinion. There are other land investors that what they'll do is they'll list their websites on their platform itself. I know some land investors use WordPress and use what's that thing? WordPress, WooCommerce. WooCommerce. I did this in the beginning. I've made sales like this, and I realized this is a waste of time. Like, basically, you have your website, you have your property with the price, and they could buy it right there, or put the down payment right there. I did that. Okay, you could have a VA do this. All of them use VAs. Whoever uses this method. But in my opinion, this is all a waste of time. Because really, like at the end of the day, like for most people, they're going to call you. They're going to want to like talk to you. You're going to want to talk to them, in my opinion. And having a VA post these stuff, like, are you going to be sending all your people onto this website? Like, where are these people coming from, right? Unless you're doing specific Google ad traffic stuff, and you are sending, you are paying Google ads, like for people that are searching like Lee County in, whichever state, and they're going to come to your website because you have all the Lee County properties, right? Most of them are going to just search and go on like Zillow or like LandWatch or Land Farm or Landflip, one of these land listing sites, right? The only other way is like if you're going to use Facebook ads. You're going to, like, you are pumping money into Google ads or Facebook ads, and you're going to send them to your website to make a sale. But it's like even that like is really inefficient. What you want to do if you're going to do that is capture that lead with a form, right? And then have their email, and then you email them every week all your deals, right? It is very inefficient for you to have properties listed out that you have to keep up to date whenever you sell and whatever. And then and then at the same time lose all the leads that might be interested in buying from you in the future. It's much better to be like, instead of listing each individual property, it's much better if you're going to use the Facebook ads and Google ads for traffic, because your website's never going to show in Google search. I'm sorry, like no one's going to look you up. Like if you're going to do this, you would send Facebook ads or Google ads over to your site. Let's say Lee's County in California. I don't know if there's a Leeds County, California. Leeds County in California. And you're going to do Facebook ads for that with like an exemplar property with a picture, right, on Facebook ads. Or for if it's Google ads, just, text, you have a landing page with your property with the details and whatever, great deal, etc. And you have a form. And they put in your form. And then once they put in their information, then you email them with an autoresponder. You email them information with all the properties that you have in Leeds County. And you just do that every week if that's going to be your focus. But if you are not doing any of that, don't spend your time on any of this. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, WordPress is like great. There's a big learning curve, and if you aren't like tech savvy, if you're not into that, use Wix if you really want a website, but use it, I would say, on the sales side. Don't do it on the buyer side unless you just want to, right? That's really it. With that conclusion, I use WordPress. I use it just on the sales side, not really on the buy side anymore. I used to put it out, in the beginning, but like I cut that. I just put my phone number and it just says call or text me if you're interested in selling. That's it. And then that's basically it. So that's it for this video. But in the description, if you want to get into land investing, it's what I use to get my wife and myself out of our jobs, and so that we could do this a couple hours a week and chill with our family, do nonprofit work, start other businesses and other things. So that's us. If you're interested, check it out in the description below. Have a good one. I wish you the best. Also subscribe. It really makes me happy. It's really silly, but it kind of does. That's it. I know I did go on a tangent. Have a good one, guys. Bye.